will be allowed to deduct fines or compensation from non-tax deductible, and as a result, prosecutors may.
Who's your toll?
Push it. There we go. Go.
Doors break.
Let's go. Back up and it's running around the back.
We're the American bully and XL bullies, because the mum, she's an XL bully,
Yeah.
and the dad is a full American bully.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah.
So the half and half then.
Half and half, yeah.
Yeah, they are very cute.
It's a shame about all the laws and all of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know, as long as I don't breed them, I suppose it's okay. I'm only keeping, like I said, I was going to keep 4 of them for myself, but obviously now all this has happened, we just keep him, and my boy's got papers already, my bear, so. But these bullies, I'm telling you, like, it's so shame what everyone thinks about them, man, because they are one of the friendliest dogs that I know, to be fair. I've had a lot of breeds dogs, and these dogs are so loyal and friendly, it's unbelievable. It's like, I've only seen them ever attack people when someone's tried to attack their owners, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, it's just mad to me. You normally get them little poodle dogs that come up to you going, ruff, 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 ruff. You know what I mean? They're more aggressive than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hello, my name is Assistant Chief Constable Glen Pavelin. Today, my thoughts and those of everyone at Essex Police are with Esther and her family and friends. She was selfless and devoted to her family, and her death has left a huge void in their lives. No verdict will bring Esther back, and this is not a day for celebration, but I'm glad that we've ensured Ashley Warren has been held accountable. Esther's death was a needless tragedy, and one which has affected the whole community. Ashley Warren took advantage of Esther's good nature, something that ultimately resulted in her death. I want to pay tribute to the unflinching bravery of the officers who responded within minutes to help Esther. Their professionalism and their actions meant that no one else in the community was put at risk of those dogs. When they entered that address and were faced with such a terrible scene, their priority was to get Esther out and keep the community safe. Their courage represents the very best of Essex Police. I want to thank the investigation team for their diligence, persistence and dedication. Their work established that Warren was illegally owning the dogs, that they were big and difficult to control, and that he was struggling to look after them. They established Esther had never looked after the dogs on her own, and Warren would have known about her health and mobility issues. These were key factors in the case. This was a complex investigation navigated by experienced and skilled detectives who meticulously pieced together the evidence which has seen Warren convicted. Finally, I want to pay tribute to members of the public who tried to get into the house to help Esther. Their primary concern was Esther and trying to get her out. You showed huge courage and should be proud. Thank you.
So talking about the case of Ashley Warren at Chelmsford Crown Court, the XL bully ban came into force on the 1st of February 2024. This attack happened on the 3rd of February. Was this prosecution, as you understand it, the first XL bully prosecution since that ban?
Yes, I believe it's the first case of a fatal XL bully attack since the ban came into force. Certainly it was one of the clearest cases I've seen.
And how significant is this case in that regard?
I mean, it's an interesting case because I had to consider the prosecution within the context not just of a person being fatally killed or as a result of these two dogs being dangerously out of control, but also how the ban came into play in this case, because it was 2 days after the ban came into force. And so that was something that we had to consider, in particular with regards to Mr. Warren's level of knowledge of the ban at the time that these dogs were dangerously out of control.
So under that new legislation, there's certain things that people who already had XL bully dogs must do, which was including after they became a banned breed, having exemption certificates. That wasn't a charge that we saw as part of what Warren was facing at the trial. Could you explain what's happened around that?
Yes, of course. So when these matters were originally charged, the three offences which are being heard at the Crown Court, being an owner of a dog dangerously out of control, causing injury leading to death, being in charge of a dog dangerously out of control, which caused injury leading to death, and another matter were charged. In addition, there were charges of owning or being the custodian of a banned breed for these two dogs, and there were animal welfare offences. Because these offences are ones which ordinarily would only be heard in the magistrate's court, they were sent to the Crown Court but can only be addressed and dealt with at the end of the trial for the dog offences and the other matter.
So those are waiting in the wings, as it were. They will be dealt with following the trial.
Yes, and the court will have heard evidence regarding those matters within the facts of this particular case.
So Warren wasn't actually present at the time when this fatal attack happened. What, if any, challenges did that pose in terms of the case you had to bring?
I mean, it was definitely a challenge, but the law is very clear that just because you aren't present when a dog is dangerously out of control doesn't mean that you can't be held responsible for it. And in this case, the law says that if you're an owner of a dog that is dangerously out of control, but is in the care or responsibility of another person, it doesn't mean you escape liability if that person is not a fit and proper person to look after those dogs.
If I could ask you this question on the basis that Warren's found guilty by the jury, he's been found guilty, what's your reaction?
I mean, this was a deeply concerning case for all involved. I think for the community who heard the details of this case, it would have caused distress. I'd like to thank the work of the police in investigating this case, the work of the advocates who prepared and presented this case to the jury, and of course our thoughts go out to the friends and family of Mrs. Esther Martin for their support and patience during this trying time.
In terms of putting this into some context, what, if any, trends have you seen in terms of the number of XL bully cases since that ban came into force?
I mean, I think up until 2021 there had been around 3 fatal dog attacks a year. After 2021 there have been around 23 fatal or serious injury dog attacks, with many of them linked to the XL bully. That's why the ban or the prohibition came into being. Certainly in my case, I've seen an increased number of files being submitted to the CPS involving XL bully breeds.